Hello and welcome back to the channel. Keanu Reeves returns for Constantine sequel. This is exciting. Without further ado, let's get into this story. In this article in Variety, we can see the only soul Satan himself would come up to collect is getting a follow-up film. Yes, Constantine is back after a 17-year hiatus. Variety can confirm that Warner Brothers will make a sequel to the 2005 supernatural action film Constantine, starring Keanu Reeves. The blockbuster star will reunite with the original director Francis Lawrence, best known for taking over the Hunger Games franchise after the first film. That is quite a pedigree. Now, Constantine has always been a favorite movie of mine. Although I wasn't well versed with the character before the movie, I quickly grew to enjoy this character so much that I actually even watched the TV series that came on later on. I believe that was this NBC TV series that they're talking about by Daniel Cerrone and David S. Goyer. And I actually watched it, enjoyed it, but it never got picked up for a second season, which I thought was regrettable. But hey, I guess we can't win them all. Constantine has been a hot property in Hollywood and was even more recently being developed into a new series that was going to be for HBO Max that was being developed by J.J. Abrams' Bad Reboot Productions. Now we know that, well, let's just say that relations between HBO Max and Bad Reboot are not exactly the best at this point in time. Relations are strained, and part of that has to do with, well, Bad Reboot's inability to make progress on projects for HBO Max. And then, after that, now it seems like now that David Zaslav has taken over, he seems less likely to be pushing forward some of these TV projects. We see here in 2019, Warner Brothers Discovery signed a $250 million deal with Abrams' production company Bad Reboot. One of the shows that was supposed to come out of that deal was a series called Demimonde, which was due to air on HBO Max. That show is about, well, that's the issue. Beyond Daniel Deadwyler being cast as the lead actor, nobody knew anything about the series, and apparently Warner Brothers Discovery isn't happy about that. According to The Hollywood Reporter, Warner Brothers TV has reviewed some scripts for the show, but is frustrated with the lack of progress. The show was ordered straight to series, meaning Abrams didn't need to bother making a pilot. And now we can see as of June that show is not going forward and has basically been killed. So yeah, there's not a lot of, I'd say, goodwill right now between Abrams and HBO Max or Warner Brothers Discovery. So sources tell Variety the HBO Max series is dead now, so that's another dead production, dead series, courtesy of Bad Reboot. Another Justice League Dark project that is also being put to the side is Madam X series. I know nothing about that. Another Justice League Dark project that is also being put to the side is the Madam X series, which I know nothing about. That was produced by Angela Robinson. But this doesn't mean both series can't be resurrected somewhere else. Okay, sources say that both Warner Brothers Television and Bad Reboot remain extremely high on both projects and expect to find a new home for them both. Well, it certainly sounds like someone is extremely high. Now that is PR speak. Translation, that means that Warner Brothers Discovery is so high on this project that they want to spend exactly $0 on it. And in fact, they're shopping scripts out to other streamers in case they want to license this project and then spend their own money. All of this and more can be theirs to risk their own money on. So apparently Warner Brothers doesn't value the series effort that Bad Reboot has put forth. And I mean, they value it so much that they're treating it like basically, feces scrawled on toilet paper and trying to find someone else to pay them money to buy it from them. So now we can see that there are several failed projects tied to Bad Reboot and J.J. Abrams, and it seems to me that HBO Max is trying to distance themselves from that company and from J.J. Abrams. But we'll see what actually ends up happening. Now, adapted from the DC Comics, John Constantine is an exorcist trying to tip the scales in the battle between good and evil in his favor. Able to see demons and angels influencing regular folks, Constantine is driven to send every last demon to hell, thus solidifying his place in heaven. Because what would you do if you were sentenced to a prison where half the inmates were put there by you? Yes, John Constantine is trying to buy his way to heaven. And I always found that to be an interesting, it's just an interesting storyline. One of the things that I enjoyed about the movie as well. And just that idea that here's a guy who's been working hard his whole life to try to buy his way into heaven. And we know that you allegedly cannot do that. So, I definitely enjoyed Constantine. I thought Keanu Reeves and Rachel Weisz had a lot of chemistry. Yeah, I mean, that's how old the movie is. It came out during, let's just say, the heyday of Rachel Weisz's career. And now we don't really see her much anymore. So I'm interested to know what this second movie is going to be all about. Just enjoyed all of, I'd say, the characters and the myth, the lore, everything that they built up in the first movie. And I think they really have a good foundation for a second movie. So I was always disappointed that we never got a sequel to this. And like I said, I guess I liked it so much that I absolutely was like devoted to tuning in to this series on NBC when it came out, because I just wanted to see more of this story. And the NBC series wasn't bad. It's just too bad that it didn't get picked up. Now, this sequel has long been whispered about among fans, especially after the big 15-year reunion attended by both Reeves and Lawrence at Comic-Con. Plus, the star himself has openly expressed his interest in returning to the Holy War raging in the streets of LA. I just loved that world, and I love that character. And yeah, I think what's not to love? It's a very complex and interesting character. He's a bit of an anti-hero because, yeah, Constantine's not necessarily a guy you want to strive to be like. He's a bit of a cautionary tale, actually. The details are scarce, but we know the bare bones of the deal. Akiva Goldsman, who's been helming multiple Star Trek series on Paramount Plus, will write and produce through his production company, Weed Road. This does concern me because, yeah, I'm not actually a big fan of any of the new Star Trek series on Paramount Plus. So when it comes to this individual writing and producing, that definitely gives me some pause. Hopefully Keanu Reeves will have a lot of say in the storyline and, yeah, make sure that there's no, well, let's just say woke shenanigans or gender identity, diversity, politics being injected into this thing. Hopefully it'll be about the storyline and about the characters instead of all the identity politics that seems to find its way, even annoyingly, into all of the Star Trek stuff. Now, fingers crossed this reunion also brings back the very best interpretations of Gabriel and the Devil himself by Tilda Swinton and Peter Stormare in the history of cinema. Yeah, I agree. They were both phenomenal. Peter Stormare is definitely, he's one of these underappreciated actors, and his portrayal of the Devil, wow. I mean, that was an amazing performance. And honestly, like Tilda Swinton as Gabriel, yeah, I mean, she was like crazy as a bag of cats, but in such a believable way. I completely bought into it. Like I said, the acting, the story, the plot, everything was really good about Constantine. It really was a great movie, in my opinion, and I don't remember how big of a movie it was. Let me look at that real quick. Now, Constantine has a 7.0 rating on IMDb and about the same on Rotten Tomatoes, a 72% audience score. Of course, critics hated it, but yeah, I don't think this is a movie for critics. This is the sort of movie that ends up with a cult following instead of a critics following. And it didn't do too bad in the movie theaters. It had a production budget of $75 million. And, well, a worldwide box office was $221 million, so it made back 3 times the production budget. And that's not super, but it's not terrible. And I just think there's so much promise in diving into this story again. Given Keanu Reeves' star power now, I think he could actually have a much bigger success with the second one, but that remains to be seen. But let me know what you think about a Constantine sequel and Keanu Reeves returning for that. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. In the meantime, if you want to continue to smash a narrative, then smash the like, subscribe, and share buttons. The goal now is 1,000 subs, and every sub helps this small channel out immensely. So if you like what you've seen, then please consider subscribing. That's all I have for now. I will see you in the next video. Have a great day.